you to do now is basically this. So we have group 1 here, first 3 chapters, group 2 here, second part of the book, and you guys do the third part of the book, which is Lido. And discuss and give me top 10 pieces of advice that you feel that you can use and write it down and flip for a quick presentation. And then try to identify which was the most important chapter of the ones that you had. And then one of you can either present one or as a group. And I'd like you to focus on basically kind of, what are you taking with you from this? First time I'm doing this, I wrote a book, I thought there was a need for it. I just want to hear from you. Is there anything here that you think is useful or what is useful?
So we started with the framework that we're that everything is developed from.
Trying to sell it? Or?
The ASEC. Informed choice.
Is it all right reserved? Yeah.
And then we move on to the second chapter, come prepared. Very important. Rest and relax. You need a time to step back, think about it, what you've done, how far you've accomplished, what you want to do. Enjoy the brainwashing, but stay critical. Be moldable, but still durable.
That's good integrity.
Networking, but you want to beware of the friends. You don't want to get caught up in all the hullabaloo. Be reflective. Keep a diary. Structure your thoughts. And it might be fun to look back after a while and see what you've accomplished, how far you've gone. Positive attitude, can-do attitude. You can't be negative walking around there. Accept challenges and learn from them. That's very important because it really is a learning process. 360 feedback, be open to critique and praise, of course. And then we just all want to end with a happy but humble attitude. Don't think you know everything. Be happy with where you are, and everything will work out.
All right. Thank you. Any comments? All right. Group 2.
Yeah. We started off with internal perception, then fellow graduates, and the training. First one would be show a positive attitude, linking back to what Nina just said. And watch and learn from your fellow worker. Second one would be when in Rome, do as the Romans do. So get used to the locals' way to do the things, but still keep in mind the larger picture, since you are supposed to once go back and leave the company. And the third one is engage and use the fact that you are different to your advantage, so don't see it as an disadvantage, but pull it in a way that it's going to help you to succeed. Do you want to move forward? Or?
Moving on to the fellow graduates, don't be afraid to fail if you don't have an up and out culture. Work with people that complement your skill set and compete in a constructive way.
And the training part, don't think that hands-on training is not important. It actually gives a deep understanding of the business and an advantage to you. When comfortable, don't get settled, but instead change and start again so that you can continuously learning. And also reflect on that learning and set goals that you can follow and comply with. And all in all, our main point is that the training program is all about learning and personal development.
Thank you. Third group.
Regarding networking, we've seen that it's important to cultivate your network because of the pool of knowledge that you gain access to and future opportunities. You have to keep in mind that networking is a marathon. It may not be easy at first, but if you keep at it, you'll get better. And you have to grind it. To do that, you need to be proactive, show interest and interact, but try to connect on a human level first and not go straight for the throat. And lastly, you have to manage the network and follow up, and even in
project management, remember that it is an art, so it's not merely administrative stuff that you just need to do on the side, but you need to learn it and cultivate this, because it has a big impact on the total success. Beware of the not invented here syndrome. If you have something that's not invented here, then try to sell it to people to get their ownership, sort of their stakes in. And be resilient, because sometimes even a great project leads to nothing, because as long as you're not the CEO of the company, there are always people who have more important concerns than your stuff, so be aware. Relocating, okay, hit the ground running. It's the third time I mentioned it, but yeah, start living your life from day one, and so on. And the last thing is keep your routines to help you adjust.
Okay, thank you. You can sit down. Okay, so I think you've summed it up pretty well, and I will show you the screen. Yeah, as I started out with saying in the very, very beginning, you need to understand who you are and where you're coming from, especially compared to some of the older people in the companies that you might end up working for. You are part of the global generation. Computer, internet, mobile. Some of the people that you will work for and some of the executives are not part of that generation. So some of the things that you're taking for granted, they are not. They have a completely different reality sometimes compared to you. And one of the main advantages of the trainee program is that you'll get a very, very holistic experience, bottom up, typically. And then the international, as an international trainee, the cultural differences that you'll be exposed to. I gave some examples. And then in the end, it's all about attitude. It's 90%. You don't need to be the best or most skilled, but if you have the right attitude, you can get very, very far, and you will also learn a lot. And that's kind of the book in its entirety. You can find it. I have a website, a blog on there. It's being redone a little bit. So right now it's not looking very well. I'm trying to reshape it quite a bit. You can buy the book or find the book on Amazon.com. There is a version of it on BookTube. I'm also on Twitter. And there's my contact details. I've handed out my phone number and emails and what I'd like to ask you is if it's okay that I email you a link to the website once it's up and running, a new one. Yeah? Good, okay. And feel free to write a review of the work. I mean, it's the first time I'm doing this. The idea here has been to really kind of, in an open manner, share a little bit things, quite a lot of soft things that you might not necessarily learn in school all the time. That has been the idea. So feel free to write a comment if you have something positive to say about the workshop that I could use on my website or about the book. I need to start to market it.